In 1945, as World War II neared its end, a horrifying tragedy unfolded in the jungles of Borneo, a tragedy most people have never heard of. It began at Sandakan, a Japanese-run POW camp in North Borneo, where over 2,400 Allied prisoners, mostly Australian and British, were held. Captured during the fall of Singapore and other campaigns, they were forced to build an airstrip under brutal conditions. Beatings were constant. Food was minimal. Disease ran unchecked. But the worst was yet to come. By early 1945, with Japan losing the war, Allied forces were advancing toward Borneo. The Japanese feared the POWs might be liberated, so they made a decision. Move the prisoners 260 kilometers inland, through dense jungle and mountains, to a place called Borneo. This became known as the Sandakan Death March. The first group of around 470 prisoners set out in January. Most were already sick, starving, and weak. They had to carry Japanese supplies on foot, with no proper clothing or boots, and no medical help. Anyone who slowed down, or fell, was shot, bayonet, or left to die where they collapsed. Few ever made it to Borneo. Those who did were emaciated skeletons. They weren't treated any better there, forced into slave labor and starved until they died. 2 more groups were sent on the march in the following months. Conditions worsened. By the time the third group was forced to leave, prisoners were so weak they could barely walk. Many were carried by their comrades, knowing they wouldn't survive. And still, the Japanese kept pushing them forward. Of the 400-plus prisoners originally held at Sandakan, only 6 men survived the entire ordeal. And not because they finished the march, but because they escaped into the jungle and were rescued by local villagers and guerrilla fighters, who risked their lives to hide them. Those 6 survivors were the only ones who lived to tell the world what happened. The Sandakan Death March remains one of the most horrific atrocities committed against Allied POWs in the Pacific War. A slow, systematic slaughter hidden deep in the jungle. Today, there are memorials at Sandakan and Borneo. But the story is still not widely known, even in Australia or the UK. 2,400 prisoners went in. 6 came out. And the jungle swallowed the rest. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more amazing content.